It looks like there's a check engine light on. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the all-new BMW M4 Competition Convertible. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thanks to the BMW of Pleasant Grove, Utah for giving me some time with this M4. This particular one is still available for sale, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Brendan. And if you don't know, the BMW of Pleasant Grove does not charge any sort of markups over MSRP whatsoever. So if you want a great deal on the BMW, ask for Brendan. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money, the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 503 horsepower at 6,250 RPMs and then 479 pound-feet of torque at 2,750 RPMs. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, look how aggressive it is, especially at the front end portion. And that's one of the cool things I love about the M3 and the M4. I love the look of the daytime running lights here with the M4. And then you guys can see you've got some parking sensor action here on the front end. Notice that all the trim that's not red is blacked out. And then yes, we have the larger front grille with the M4 competition badge. And then we have the anniversary BMW logo on this one. And putting it all together, I mean, this thing is so aggressive looking. So popping around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 275, 35, 19 in the front, and then 285, 30, 20 in the rear, so completely staggered setup. And then look at the wheel design. I mean, it is so intricate, and that's the thing I love about these M wheels. And then notice the brake caliper itself is blacked out. Of course, you gotta flex, this is an M4 competition with that cool accent piece. Notice that this has the aerodynamic mirrors, and then you can see they're blacked out. And then notice with the side skirt also blacked out. And well, for once, it's nice and sunny here in Utah, so we've got the top down, and this thing looks pretty cool with the top down. Now, here's the key fob itself. You guys can see we've got the unlock function, the lock function, and then the opening for the trunk. Now, popping into the cargo area here with the M4, this is one of the downsides of going convertible, is you do lose quite a bit of cargo space. Now again, we got the anniversary logo here in the back with another M4 competition badge, and I love the taillights here with the 4 Series. It looks really cool. And then look at the exhaust tips here at the bottom, all 4 of them, pretty aggressive. But altogether, it's an M4, it's a convertible, and well, let me know what you guys think about the looks on this. Now, taking a look at the door panel here, you guys can see really nice leather trim here at the top, and then notice how it's like white down below. We've got the black contrasted stitching. We have all of our window controls here in this area, and then you guys can see the memory seat functionality, and then we have our mirror adjustments, which the mirrors also do power fold in, if you're wondering. And then speakers for the Harman Kardon sound system, and also blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Now, being a 4 Series, this does have back seats, which have really cool seat belts because they've got the M colors on them. And just look at like the leather there in the center, it looks really cool. That being said though, legroom is, yeah, pretty minimal. But the good thing about this car is headroom is, it's a lot. And then taking a look at the front seat here, you guys can see the M4 badge right there. And it looks like this has a windscarf as well. And I like this, like the Alcantara there on the side. It makes the seat look really sweet. And then you guys can see at the bottom with the bolstering. And then we've got all of our power adjustments here on the side. And then notice the bolsters will tighten around. And then we got our pedals here at the bottom. So here's the steering wheel in the M4, really nice leather trim all around, and then you got the M colors there in the center for the stitching. Heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel itself. We've got our M logo there at the bottom, and then we have our M1 and M2 modes as well. And then yeah, just tons of carbon fiber. And then it does come with stuff like adaptive cruise control, steering assist, and you guys can see the paddle shifters here, also carbon fiber, which is really cool. And then your regular stocks there on the back. Well, there's a ton of glare on the gauge cluster because the top is down, so we are going to put the top up, and so this will be our clip of showing the top going up here on the M4 convertible. It's actually pretty quick. Look at that. Boom! Still happening. Let's see the gauge cluster confirmation. Done! Well, this didn't really fix my glare problem, but anyways, we've got our M1 mode, and then we have our M2, and you actually have to press it again to confirm it, which is kind of funny. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? But yeah, overall, full digital gauge cluster, looks great. Love how the speedo goes up to 200 miles an hour. So here's our backup camera. We do have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. We also have a bird's eye view as well, and so even though you can just put the top down and see all around the car, it's still got a good camera system. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment screen, first off, we've got our little like shortcut bar here on the side, and it responds really well, so it's a great infotainment system. This isn't BMW's newest infotainment system, but I do think that some people kind of prefer this unit to the Hyper screen just based on the look. And then down below, we've got this for our shortcut button for like the safety tech, and then we've got our dual zone climate controls. This also has heated and ventilated seats as well. I almost forgot to mention, really nice leather trim all over the dash, and then you guys can see the carbon fiber below that. That looks great. We also have the radio preset buttons that you can hover over with your finger, and look at that carbon fiber, so much carbon fiber. Wireless phone charging pad here with some USB action and some cup holders. Well, here is our shifter for the M4 Competition. You got this little function here that will make the shifts more or less aggressive, and then we have our analog control right next to it for the infotainment screen, and then that's your wind scarf right there. That's for the top, your parking brake, your auto hold. That's for the exhaust to make it louder or quieter. Your setup, your M mode as well, so you can press this and notice it actually fully changes the gauge cluster, which is pretty cool. And then we have our engine stop start right next to it, auto stop start parking sensors, that's for the camera, and then your stability control. Now here is the center console. You guys can see decent storage space, got some USBs and some nice like padding and stitching here on the top. And then popping over to the glove box, you can see nicely lined with felts, and there's some nice like leather trim on the outside of it. So here's a window sticker for the M4 Competition. You guys can see base MSRP 89,700, and this one has quite a few options added to it, including, let's see, yeah, it's got like everything. Anyways, total MSRP on this one after all options, $102,525. Let's see how it drives. I take that let's see how it drives back. So first off, forgot to show you guys the heads-up display, and secondly, I realized I forgot to show you guys what this car looks like with the top up. So there's your to-pay MW. Now let's officially drive it. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off here. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors do blind spot monitoring. And throughout the rest of the rear. And I got confused by the shifter for a second there. Let's set off. Okay, so setting off in this M4 convertible. And actually, what am I doing with my life here, folks? Let's put this top down. So I don't know the speed you can be going while still doing this top operation, but we're going like 1 mile per hour, so I think we'll be fine. There we go. Now we are living it up with our top down experience. Now I'm gonna roll up the windows so that there's not an insane amount of wind buffeting for the audio for you guys. Then we'll roll up the back windows too. That's what those secondary window switches are for. There we go. We're already like 1 minute into the driving and we haven't even done any driving. What a good review. You guys should definitely subscribe after that. But anyways, actually getting up and moving here. It's like really comfortable with the suspension, surprisingly. You know, M cars, you know, they're going to be a little bit more on the harsh side because it's a full-on sports car. But this is actually pretty comfortable. Transmission's aggressive even in this base setting, right? Love the turbo noise. Makes like a little bit of turbo sploosh sound. Let's oh, so the valve's already opened. Okay. Yeah, it is. I mean, you can tell this is a stiffer car. It's definitely something that's happening here. So yeah, pretty smooth. I like the whole power delivery and everything. It's just a very smooth setup overall. But yeah, the suspension definitely is on the harsher side of things a little bit. And yeah, steering is it's pretty precise. Yeah, get into it a little bit and it's got solid torque. Yeah, this thing's pretty fun. We'll see what the suspension does over this quickly. Wait, is that a... Well, it looks like we're not getting an acceleration in today's video, guys. It looks like there's a check engine light on. I wonder if it's because this is low on fuel. That could be it. Yeah, there's a little wrench and then a check engine light. So, suffice to say, sorry that I'm doing an M4 review without doing acceleration, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. Oh, funny. The stuff that happens in Ben Hardy reviews. Okay, so we are getting back up and moving. I just read the message here on the screen because with BMWs it lets you know like why there's a service thing, and it says that I am fine to drive the car, but it says it's going to be limited power. So I guess we'll get like a little. Oh yeah, it's like killed the power a lot. So I mean, let's see if I'd pop it into. And let's make the transmission a little bit more aggressive. Oh yeah, it's like limited the power like crazy. So yeah, you know what? We tried. Pop it back in automatic. We're just gonna cruise back to the dealership. Nothing to see here. So I have driven the M4 before, so I know how the M4 drives. Like the acceleration with this car is absolutely bonkers. It really is. It's such a fun car to drive. And you know, again, like just in the regular setting here, it's actually pretty comfortable. The convertible obviously gives you some more of the sound coming out of the exhaust, which is a big plus. And so yeah, I really like this car. Really nice interior, it drives really well. And so yeah, despite the check engine light, I think it's a solid car. I'm willing to bet, again, this is low on fuel. I'm willing to bet that that's why. It's probably just needs to be, this car, most car, right, every single car doesn't like to be low on fuel. I'm sure this being a high performance car, same thing. So yeah, I would rather have a car do this and protect the system than not, if that makes sense. And so let me know what you guys think about the M4 convertible.